I just spoke with the team about just who we are as a team and how we respond. The biggest thing right now is just that consistency of effort for 40. Not that we did not play hard in spurts today, but it was just the consistency of what we need and what we need for 40 full minutes from the tip to the final buzzer. So there are things, again, obviously we'll prepare, and it's a quick turnaround before we play Missouri. But I did challenge our team just to make sure we get off to a really good start and sustain that competitive effort throughout the game.
Questions?
Coach, I'm not going to go in details, but just a lot of areas of the game were not great for you guys tonight. What would you say was the biggest thing that really hurt you guys?
Rebounding is always a big thing. I thought they got a lot of second chance opportunities. I mean, we wanted to limit their paint points, and I thought some obviously were off the dribble, but there were some paint points that were just off of second chance opportunities. Their guards got in the mix on rebounds, their bigs obviously. So if I had to say really one area that we're going to continue to talk about is just limiting those second chance opportunities.
They scored a lot of their points in transition. It was working really well for them tonight. It seemed like you guys were struggling to find the pace to get back on defense. What would you say are the changes that you need to make to be able to keep up on the defensive end of the floor?
Well, I think we can keep up, but I think some of their transition was activated because we had just one shot opportunities. And so where we want to get those second and third opportunities, I think they limited us to one, which activated them in transition. And so when the ball, we talked about it, when the ball is not falling, right, don't settle for three. You saw us later, the adjustment was kind of attacking off the dribble, trying to put foul pressure on and getting to the free throw line. But again, our posts normally crash and our guards normally get back. But I just felt like we were one and done, and that just really activated them in transition. So look to us to really crash those offensive rebounds and try to get those second and third opportunities. And when the ball's going through the net, it's hard for the opponent to run.
A couple more.
Coach, Treasure exited the game, looked like hit to the face or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us an update on her status? She never entered back in the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to the doctors as of yet, but again, she did take a hit, and then I'll get an update later. I just don't have an update right now.
Going back to what you said about points in the paint, they did have a lot on second chance opportunities, but also just in their half-court set. What do you think it was about your defensive rotations that kept leaving those holes open when we get to the paint?
Well, I think it was just being a half an inch over to help, right? It just seemed like we were a step slow in our rotations. But again, those are things that we will go back and we'll look at in the film session. I do think that we pressured on the perimeter. I do think that in the half-court set, there were opportunities for us where we did get those stops. But I think the moments where they might have got loose around the rim or they slipped to the basket, it was just a half an inch too late. But knowing we were supposed to be there, but I think it was more arriving on the catch versus waiting on the catch.
One more.
When a night like tonight happens, when shots just aren't falling, how do you continue to preach your team to generate that offense and find new ways to score? Because obviously I think you agree the 30% from the floor tonight,
Right.
You guys were struggling on that point.
Well, and it was just not settling for jump shots. You saw, again, you'll talk to her in a minute, Jaddan did a phenomenal job, turning the corner and trying to play downhill and get to the rim and shortening up your shot, shooting that mid-range game and getting to the free throw line. But just really not settling for that quick three or just that quick shot in the perimeter. It was more important for us to put foul pressure on and play downhill to the rim.
Blake Neiman, WCSN. Jaddan tonight, obviously not the best outcome, and as a emerging leader on the team, what was kind of the emotion in the locker room, and where do you see the steps going forward?
I mean, we know we played bad, and just like Coach said, it was effort, paint point, transition, but a lot of that stuff we can control, so I think the team knows that, and we just got players that want to win, so this is just going to leave a little chip on our shoulder, and we know Sunday we're going to be able to control the effort, and it's going to be way better than it was today.
Journey, you played a lot more this game than you have in past games. What were your goals in this game, knowing that it was a tough loss, but it's also a chance for you to prove yourself moving forward?
Well, my goal is always going in is to do what I know I can do and what's going to help the team. So in this particular game, it was rebounding, and if I could get second chance opportunities, that too. So I'm just going to continue to focus on what I can do to help out the team.
For any of you guys, is this the type of game that you just want to flush, or are you going to look over some of the mistakes you guys had?
I don't think you can flush the whole game away because it's just one of those, like, it gets you back to just being the team that has to play defense. Like, it's not going to come easy, basically. Like, yes, we're a Pac-12 school and all that, but it just humbles you is what I'm trying to say. I mean, we got to just look at how they scored, and it was a lot of just our mess-ups is how they scored. So I think we'll just get back to, staying down on defense, sprinting the court, doing all that we can do to stop them on defense, and then that would have helped our offense a lot better today.
They had a lot of assists. Is that a sign of a team that's, played together? They went to the tournament last year. They've got some continuity where you guys are still kind of learning each other. Do you think that they have maybe an edge in that area?
I mean, pretty much every team we play has been together for a while. So I think, obviously they're going to have chemistry because they've been together for a while. But I think, honestly, it was just more so us. I think it was everything that we did we could have controlled. So all those assists, we could have shut those down if we, applied more pressure and all that, which we're going to do.
Journey, being that you played a lot of points and you're new to college basketball, but being that Coach Adair clearly trusts you to be in the game for a long stretch of time, what does that do as far as make you feel confident in your future as a Sun Devil and growing that relationship with you and Coach Adair?
It's definitely a confidence booster, and she trusts me to put me in an intense game for a long period of time. And I appreciate her trust, and I'm going to do the best I can with it and, try to grow from here on out.
Jesse Morrison, Devil's Digest. Coach stressed that you guys maybe didn't play 40 minutes of full-on energy. Pretty quick turnaround. You played in 2 days. How do you guys do that on a short amount of rest?
We got ice baths, we got the Normatec, so we'll be all right with that. But honestly, that's the best part of basketball. Forget the loss. You can go play, and let's get a win the next game.
You guys turned up the defensive intensity closer to the end of the game. Jaddan, for you as a leader, what is your message to your team to have that, defensive output at the start of your next game?
Yeah, we're supposed to be a defense-first team, so, the team knows that. We just got to get to it, and I think that we're going to practice hard tomorrow, so we'll be ready, and I think just being able to just sit down and guard your own, we shouldn't have to rely too much on, help side. It should be there, but, we just have to, take our own and be able to guard our own person without worrying about the help or anything like that. So I think we'll turn it up next game for sure.
One more?
Jaddan, you went out of the game pretty early into the fourth quarter, but then you came back in the middle of it, and the game seemed to be kind of already over. It's like a 32-point lead. Why did you come back in, and what was the effort that you wanted to display in the last 5 minutes there?
I'm never going to give up on my team. We're going to play to the end, and we already, we have a couple people out right now, so it's just our team mindset. I'm not the only person on the team that would have came back in no matter how much we're down. I think we're family, so just sticking together through the losses and the wins, that's how we're going to get better.